Sunshine 106.8. Sunshine 106.8.
Sunshine Meets on Dublin's new Sunshine 106.8.
You're listening to Sunshine Meets. My name is Graham Day, and my special guest this evening is Dr. Patrick Tracy, cosmetic doctor, entrepreneur, best medical journalist in 03, best medical clinician in 05, a personal friend of the deceased Michael Jackson. Welcome, Dr. Tracy.
Thanks, Graham.
Tonight we're going to look at the music that's influenced your early years and through your life. And what would be your first choice of music?
Okay, well, I suppose my early years would have to reflect growing up in Fermanagh, going to boarding school in Enniskillen, and going to my first university, Queen's University Belfast. This was a period during the 1960s, 1970s, when Northern Ireland was at war, and to an extent, I suppose the music reflects that also. I grew up in West Fermanagh, a little village called Garrison. My father owned a village emporium there with a garage, a shop and all the rest. And it's amazing. I remember just the early years, even when people were content sitting around a big fire, listening to the radio at night. I remember my father listening to Cassius Clay with all his friends about 3 o'clock in the morning when he won his first fights. I remember John F. Kennedy getting killed in that whole period. And there was a great crossover technologically between the era that we grew up in and the era my father grew up in. We would have things like broken gramophone springs on the floor of the bicycle shop, carbide lamps, things that my father would have known in the post-war period, and certainly things that meant nothing to us because we'd go back in and be playing records upstairs. Now, there was the days of Radio Luxembourg and all the rest, but then I suppose the whole of Northern Ireland kicked off in a horrendous way. In my own area itself, the IRA had asked a lot of the people to move out of the area, and people who didn't, they would have been probably part of the UDR, which is regiments of the British Army. They got shot and killed, and we had an unusual situation before I went to Enniskillen, to my boarding school, where we would have IRA volunteers in getting their cars or tractors fixed, and beside them members of the RUC or the British Army UDR regiments or the B Specials waiting to get a puncture fix, and them all sort of standing waiting in line for my father to serve them. And then when the sun would go down, they'd, I suppose, each go home and take out their guns and start firing at each other. And that was the life that certainly I remember.
Was there a coldness? I mean, these people were at war, but could you tell it during the day when they were in the shop with your father? Was there an unease?
Well, the statehood of Northern Ireland, when it started off, I suppose, to an extent, was a little artificial, without going into any political sense, but we were always reminded as, I suppose, Catholics growing up of our own inheritance. At primary school, my schoolmaster would turn round to us and say, you have the most fascinating heritage here that I don't want you ever to forget. I mean, your townland is Knockaraven, that's Knockafferin from the Hill of the Mass. So in the 1600s, the priests here had to hold Mass, sort of when the English armies were taking them out. And your town that you grew up in is Garrison. And Garrison, of course, was where the British regiments... Sorry, that would have been pre-British. Of course, Britain only existed from 1800 onwards. But during the Williamite Wars, and certainly on the way to the Battle of the Boyne, King William would have put his troops right on the border where our little town was. And this is because it was the connection between Ulster and Connacht. This is where Queen Maeve drove her cattle all those years ago. You've got the Leitrim Mountains and sort of the Donegal Mountains, and this little passageway, sort of was of strategic importance. But during the period I went to St. Michael's in Enniskillen, it was during that time when the civil rights marches were starting off, and we all became interested because we knew that in the United States also we were seeing on the black and white televisions the civil rights were happening there as well. We knew that there was an awful sense of injustice, particularly in Fermanagh. Fermanagh was one of the worst because you had a situation where you had something like 23 bus drivers, but only 3 of them were Catholic. You had a situation where there was 450 people working in the civil service, but only about 10 of them were token Catholic. So there was quite, I suppose, marked discrimination in the period. Now, when I was still quite young and I went to school, a lot of my friends, originally, I suppose, in St. Michael's and Enniskillen, were getting involved in the peripheries of things, you know, sort of they were being pulled in because they may have been taking car numbers, that type of things. But I remember when, in 1972, the 30th of January, of course, that horrendous day when, I suppose, the Bloody Sunday happened, friends from Enniskillen would have been stopping on our street to collect me, and my mother wouldn't let me, you know, sort of, I suppose, get into the car to join them. And she's been very influential in my life, you know. Later on, I suppose, in Queen's Belfast, because I again became involved just in student politics. I was president of one of the halls of residence when a tricolour was hung over the hall, which was considered treachery at the time. I mean, even though it personally nothing got to do with me, some of our committee were sent bullets, and then I was taken out and I was almost killed. I suppose the sort of song that probably I would have played would have been, I suppose, Bloody Sunday by U2, but I think we'll let bygones be bygones, and a more appropriate choice of first record probably would be One by U2. The third track of their 91 album, Octone Baby, as you know, and it was recorded in Hansa Studios in Berlin that I know very well. Interestingly, it's where Gorbachev had stayed in a period, and certainly Berlin would be very familiar to me. I'd been out of it many times.
Well, at this stage, let's go to your first choice of music.
Okay.
Here is One with U2.
Is it getting better? Or do you feel the same?
What wonderful words that Bono wrote on that. I think it really, in many ways, reflects the new Northern Ireland to an extent. The words one love, one life, when it's one need in the night. And there's no doubt about that people now on both sides realise that there's more to be gained in living together, sharing the one dreams, the one happiness, one hopes. And yes, I think that's why I chose that song rather than The Memories of Bloody Sunday.
So